So this is probably something that not everyone's going to be able to understand, because it doesn't look like that from the outside. But rejection is the story of my life. If I had to give an analogy of what it's like to be around other people, it's almost as though they're this massive school of fish and they're all around me, and I move through them and they just get out of my way and don't interact with me at all. That's how it feels a lot of the time. They're all moving in some kind of unison that I'm just don't seem to quite understand, and they're all connecting with each other, and every time I make a move, it's like there was someone there and now there's no one there. And that's especially true whenever I try and lean on someone as a friend. So, especially around strangers, I'm someone who's hyper aware of the reaction that other people have to me, which means that I bend over backwards to make sure that other people feel comfortable around me, essentially going out of the way to modify my behavior based on the situation and how people react to me. So everyone loves me when I'm able to do that. So long as I don't do anything weird, so long as I'm making them feel good, and so long as I don't ask anything in return, everyone loves me. It's fine. The difficulty is you can imagine how much energy that takes from me all the time, constantly making sure that my behavior is what someone else wants it to be, so that they don't feel awkward, so that they don't have to do anything, so that they feel comfortable around me. And then every once in a while, I run out of energy. And when I run out of energy, I don't have the resources to continue to filter my actions to make sure that it's what someone else expects and what someone else is going to react positively to. Without that filter, I come across as a little bit weird. And I'm not talking about the cool, different type of weird. I'm talking about the kind of weird that people just ignore and hope it goes away. That's my experience of being ignored until I go away. And when I have nothing left to give, I actually need help from other people. But the problem is that the less I am able to keep it up, the less other people are happy to be around me. And so it's like that school of fish analogy where I go to lean on someone and all of a sudden there's just no one there anymore. There would seem to be so many people and now they've just all vanished. Unfortunately, it's a very natural instinct to ostracize people that act differently. Think about how a crowded train treats that one crazy guy who's just mumbling to himself or screaming or something like that. It makes people feel uncomfortable and they don't know what to do, and they just ignore you until you go away. And that's how I see a lot of people deal with me when my filter goes down. So unfortunately, the more I reach out to people, the more I need to reach out to people, the less likely it is that anyone's going to reciprocate. And again, how that situation usually plays out is I have a tiny, tiny little bit of energy left and I reach out to as many people as I can think of, rejected by every single one of them until I've got absolutely nothing left and I'm completely alone. And the bonus of that situation, the real positive side, is that I don't have any energy to reach out to anyone else, and no one is around to reach out to anyway. And the reason that's a really good situation is because I don't waste my energy trying to reach out to people, which means I start slowly building up my energy again, until eventually I've recovered enough that I can go out back into the world and be that strong person that everyone needs me to be. We have phrases like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's so difficult to explain to someone when they don't see what those straws are. In the past, when I've tried to speak to people about this, inevitably I'm told that that's just the way life works. People don't always respond. You can't just reach out to someone and expect them to reach out back. You need to build that relationship first. I'm like, well, I tried that. We were friends for a long time, and this is the first time I've reached out to you, and now you're telling me that you don't have time for me anymore, or it's too much. Perfect example is my ex-wife. We were together for 8 years, and the first time I needed help, our whole relationship fell apart. It's like I'm on the edge of a cliff, literally hanging on by my fingertips, and trying to get someone's attention, like, guys, hey, guys, little help. And eventually I'm shouting, and then I get told off for shouting and being inappropriate. And if you'd only done this the socially appropriate way, you would have got help and there wouldn't have been any problem. And wouldn't that have been much easier? Yeah, much easier. Thanks, guys. I suspect one reason that I'm constantly told that I'm overreacting is because there is no one big thing. It's just my daily reality. Why aren't you dancing? Why aren't you talking? Why aren't you participating in the same way that everyone else does? What's wrong with you? And sure, most of the time it's like water off a duck's back. But have you ever hit a duck with a water cannon? Right? They don't pull up so well. It's not about the water, it's about the volume and consistency. I see people swimming around me and passing me by. I know they can see me, but they choose not to interact with me. And again, people say it's normal, it happens to everyone. But essentially, that's just a way for people to move out of the way when I try and lean on them, and to justify to themselves that there wasn't anything that I really needed help with, which is, again, a perfect example of just not being seen. Even when I'm standing straight in front of someone, even when I'm saying those words directly to someone, they still choose not to see me. They choose not to see my experience, and they choose to avoid the situation instead of respond to me. Which again is ironic, because in the process of trying to reach out and asking for help, I'm pushed away even further. Thanks, guys. So I guess this hasn't been an overly positive video, but I guess the whole point of me trying to explain this is so that if someone confides in you that something is really, really difficult, it probably is, and it really doesn't help to tell them that it should be fine, or tell them that the problem is in something about how they're going about fixing it. Maybe the problem is in how other people fail to respond to the call for help. And that will do for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.